Back at Quinn's apartment, the night before Andrew's doctor's appointment, and before Quinn and Jenny threatened Andrew's parents, Quinn checked on Jenny in the guest room. Good. Jenny's asleep. Now I'll be able to fix everything, Quinn thought to herself as she shut the door. Quinn walked down her hallway and into her library nook. She pulled one book out, like a lever, which revealed a hidden entrance to winding stairs. She descended down them into a dark abyss. Quinn stood in a hidden chamber adorned with mystical symbols and artifacts before an ancient-looking chest. She gently opened it, revealing the crystal of Veritas, a radiant gem pulsating with otherworldly energy. She whispered incantations, and the room came alive with magic, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The crystal, suspended in mid-air, began to glow, absorbing the truths and secrets of those nearby. Quinn whispered more ancient incantations. Gem of truth, hear my plea. Unveil the secrets, let them be free. In shadows deep, where mysteries dwell, reveal the tales that none can tell. As Quinn spoke, the crystal Veritas responded by emanating a soft hum that synchronized with her enchantments. The room was bathed in a mystical glow as the crystal absorbed the essence of hidden truths. Quinn, with a mischievous smile, continued to concentrate on the crystal. Show me the threads of destiny. Weave them in patterns known to me. Influence the dance of fate. Craft a narrative, subtle and great. The crystal responded by projecting a vivid image, revealing a moment between Andrew and Jenny at the Plaza Hotel lobby. They were engaged in a heated conversation, their words and emotions laid bare for Quinn to witness. Quinn continued her incantation. Let their words be echoes, guided by the path fate bestows. Influence the steps they take, with truths unveiled, a bond they break. As the flashback unfolded with the magical projection, Quinn's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. She successfully reorchestrated the event behind the scenes, using the crystal's revelations and enchantments to manipulate the dynamics between Andrew and Jenny. Andrew's mom answered. Why, hello, Jenny. What a lovely surprise. And who is your friend? Hi, Miss Mason. Nice to meet you. This is my friend, Quinn. Nice to meet you, Miss Mason. They shook hands. Jenny continued. Do you think we could chat with you inside? Miss Mason was a bit suspicious and hesitant at first, given Jenny and Andrew's recent breakup, but she decided to be polite. Yes, girls. Do come in. In the quaint living room of the Mason residence, Miss Mason greeted Jenny and Quinn with a facade of warmth, concealing the storm that lurked beneath the surface. The room, adorned with family photographs, whispered of a harmonious and seemingly simple life. Unlike Jenny's upbringing, where the main priority was social climbing and navigating the intricacies of high society, the Masons projected an air of down-to-earth simplicity. Despite the recent rift between Jenny and Andrew, Miss Mason extended a courteous welcome, offering a glimpse into the seemingly idyllic Mason family life. As they settled into the room, Jenny, summoning courage, couldn't help but inject a touch of drama into the revelation poised to disrupt the serene tableau. So, We don't mean to overstay our welcome, but there's a teensy bit of drama in the Mason household we thought you should know about regarding Andrew," Jenny announced with a theatrical sigh, adding a flare of suspense in the air. Panic washed over Miss and Mr. Mason's faces. Mrs. Mason's worried tone betrayed her concern. "Is Andrew okay?" "Physically, yes. Emotionally, well, his reputation might be on a bit of a roller coaster ride," Jenny replied with a dramatic pause, heightening the tension. Quinn, with a twinkle in her eye, seamlessly handed over a carefully curated collection of scandalous photos capturing Andrew's indiscretions with a former gym client. Jenny's gaze mirrored the gravity of the unveiled truth. Andrew's not-so-secret affairs during their supposedly committed relationship. "Oh, the drama, Miss Mason. It's like a soap opera, but with better lighting," Quinn remarked slyly, weaving a touch of humor into the revelation. Miss Mason, flustered and incredulous, stumbled through words as she grappled with the betrayal laid bare in the images. I can't believe this. Andrew." Jenny jumped in. "I know. I had no idea he was cheating on me." "Excuse me. How do you know this is when you were all together?" Mr. Mason retorted, wanting to come to his son's defense. "The photos are dated, and it's during the time when Jenny and Andrew were together," Quinn replied, her voice holding an unwavering confidence. "Do you think perhaps this is just an exotic exercise and a bad angle?" Miss Mason said with hope, desperately searching for an alternative explanation. "Highly doubt that," Jenny responded with a tone of certainty, her trust shattered. "Yeah, that's pretty exotic," Quinn added, injecting a hint of sarcasm that Mr. Mason did not appreciate. Mrs. Mason, overcome with a mix of emotions, spoke with a tone of disappointment. "After all these years together, Jenny, I hope you wouldn't stoop so low to tarnish Andrew's reputation." Quinn, unable to resist adding her perspective, piped up. "He did that all on his own. The proof is in the photos. Besides, Andrew needs to take responsibility for his actions." Mr. Mason, now defensive and protective of his own son, stepped forward with a glint of anger in his eyes. "This is absurd. You come into our home with these baseless accusations. Andrew is a good man, and I won't stand for this character assassination." Jenny, fueled by frustration and hurt, shot back. "Your son is the one who betrayed me. Don't pretend like he's innocent in all of this." Quinn, sensing the rising tension, interjected with a cool demeanor. "The truth has a way of surfacing, no matter how deep you bury it. Andrew made his choice, and now he has to face the consequences." The room, once a sanctuary of familiar warmth, now crackled with the charged atmosphere of a battlefield. In the wake of the dramatic confrontation at the Mason residence, Jenny found herself seeking solace at her mother, Sarah Cooper's opulent mansion. As she approached the front door, a mix of frustration, hurt, and uncertainty weighed heavily on her shoulders. The door swung open, revealing Sarah, a debutante-type woman with an air of aristocracy that bordered on haughtiness, adorned with the results of one too many plastic surgery operations. Her eyes widened with concern as she saw Jenny's distressed expression. "Jenny, sweetheart, what's going on?" Sarah asked, ushering her daughter inside. Holding back tears, Jenny recounted the explosive encounter at the Mason household. She spilled the details of Andrew's affairs, the photos, and the clash with his parents. Sarah listened intently, her face a canvas of empathy and understanding, though tinged with an air of superiority. Once Jenny finished, the weight of the situation hung in the air, and Sarah, with a comforting touch, guided her daughter to the living room. "Mom, I just can't believe it. Andrew, his parents, everything is falling apart," Jenny lamented, sinking into the worn-out sofa. Sarah sat beside her, wrapping an arm around Jenny's shoulders. "Life has a way of throwing curveballs, sweetheart. But you've always been resilient, just like your old mom." Jenny managed a weak smile, appreciating her mother's attempt to offer comfort. "I just thought we had something real, you know? Now it's all unraveling." Sarah sighed, her gaze thoughtful. "Jenny, relationships are complex, and people aren't always who they seem to be. It's a tough lesson to learn, but it's better to know the truth than live in illusions." Jenny looked at her mother, the lines of wisdom etched on her face. "What do I do now, Mom? How do I move on from this mess?" Sarah leaned in, her voice a soothing balm. "First, you breathe. Let the emotions settle. Then you focus on yourself and that precious little life growing inside you. You're stronger than you think, and you have a future beyond this chaos." As mother and daughter shared a quiet moment, Sarah couldn't help but voice her thoughts about the Masons. "You know, Jenny, people like the Masons, who didn't grow up cultured or with money, often have more issues than they let on. They lack the refinement and sophistication that come with proper upbringing. Don't let their lack of class tarnish your spirit. You deserve more than what their kind can offer." As Quinn closed the chest, she couldn't help but feel a heaviness settling upon her. The room, once alive with magical energy, now seemed to echo with the consequences of her mystical interventions. Her reflection in the small mirror on the wall captured the weariness in her eyes, a testament to the weight of tampering with fate. "I wonder if I've done more harm than good," Quinn murmured, her voice barely audible in the hushed ambience of the hidden chamber. Just then, a soft whisper, almost imperceptible, began to permeate the room. It carried an otherworldly quality, as if the spirits of fate themselves were sharing secrets in the confines of Quinn's sanctuary. A gentle breeze stirred, causing the air to dance with ethereal voices. The mystical glow, a residual magic from Quinn's enchantments, added an otherworldly sheen to the surroundings. Intrigued, Quinn extended her hand toward the mirror, drawn to the possibility of unraveling the mysteries that lingered in the air. The surface responded with a ripple of mystical energy, transforming the mirror into a portal to the future. Fleeting glimpses materialized on the mirror. Andrew, grappling with the consequences of his actions. Jenny, finding strength within herself. And the Mason family, navigating the challenges that fate had thrown their way. Each scene unfolded like a glimpse into the intricate tapestry of destiny, revealing the interconnected threads that wove through the lives of those involved. The whispering voices grew louder, echoing a cryptic message that hinted at the delicate dance of fate. Quinn, with a determined look, understood that the tale she had woven was far from over. The mirror had become a window into the ongoing saga, promising unforeseen twists and turns in the tapestry of destiny. As the mystical mirror dimmed, Quinn took a step back, contemplating the enigma of fate. The crystal Veritas, once a powerful tool of manipulation, now rested in the chest. Its glow subsided. A sense of closure enveloped the hidden chamber, leaving Quinn with a mix of reflection and anticipation. As Quinn ascended the winding stairs, a sudden and unexpected event interrupted her contemplation. The chest, seemingly of its own accord, flew open. She hurried back down the stairs, only to discover the crystal Veritas glowing once more, this time with an intensity that surpassed any previous encounters. Puzzled, Quinn watched as the crystal began to levitate, defying the laws of its usual behavior. It then shifted its glow to an intense red hue, an anomaly that sent shivers down Quinn's spine. The crystal zoomed out, revealing the source of the redness. Carolyn Richardson's ring. Oh my God. Quinn gasped in astonishment, her eyes fixed on the mysterious vision unfolding before her. The crystal ball projected Carolyn Richardson in front of her vanity, staring ominously at her glowing red ring. Quinn, perplexed and intrigued, couldn't fathom the significance of this revelation. What does that mean? Quinn wondered aloud, the enigma of fate deepening with each passing moment. If we really want to drive this plan home, we need witnesses. Jenny sits with Quinn, the two of them hunched over a cafe table. You're right. You get the friends, I'll work on the family. You saw how his mom reacted, that'll be no problem. If we frame this as an intervention, we'll have even more of the upper hand. Quinn grins. Leave this to me, girl. You get everyone in that house and worry about putting on an Oscar-worthy performance. I'll handle the logistics. That night, what would have been Jenny and Andrew's house is packed. At this moment, it's as if nothing else in the room exists. Everyone's attention is solely on Andrew as he enters the home. The anger and disdain in the room is palpable. Hi? Andrew says. The crowd is silent, except for a few murmured hellos. Jenny? What are you doing here? She smiles. Welcome home, cheater. Cheater? What? Don't be an idiot, Andrew. Jenny crosses her arms. I know what you did. Over her shoulder, Andrew sees Quinn, as well as Jenny's brother. Her parents sit off to the side. Crap, she's got her whole family here. I'm happy to sit down and talk, whatever this is, out with you, but why are so many people here? Andrew, are you kidding? We're here to help you, to support Jenny, and to make you understand that what you did was not okay. It's kind of like an intervention. Quinn says, her face smug. Don't engage. Just find a seat and move on. Figure something out. Andrew goes to sit on the couch, but his friends move to take up the extra space. Nope. Andrew turns to the chairs pulled up. No open spots. Mom. Andrew can hardly conceal his relief as he turns to see his parents. Thank God. Finally, someone is on my side. But wait a minute. Something is off. Mom? Are you all right? You look a little pale. His mother says nothing, just nods her head. Are you sure? He puts a hand to her forehead, a tender reversal of roles. Should you sit down? I can get you water. Son, we need to talk. His father's voice is firm. Sure. Andrew sits beside his father, his mother sitting on his other side. Jenny, I swear if you had something to do with this, I'll never forgive you. Oh, look at him, sandwiched between his parents. What a baby, Quinn says. Jenny clears her throat. Mr. Mason, I think you had wanted to talk to your son. Yes, I did. He turns to Andrew. Rumor has it, son, that you have $1 million. Is that true? What? $1 million. He emphasizes. Is that true? I mean, yes. I do have $1 million in my account, but if this were any other set of circumstances, I would be jumping for joy. Mr. Mason says, cutting him off. But right now, all I can feel is shame. Does it feel good being that greedy? Is it fun to be selfish? What? I don't understand. We didn't raise you like that. You share the wealth, not hoard it. Where is my son gone? And who is this heartless monster? Dad, I can explain. Enough out of you. These fine women have already explained enough. He points to Jenny and Quinn. So it was them. Andrew glowers. I'll show you both. This isn't over. His mother looks at him, tears welling up in her eyes. Since you're here, Andy, I figure, why not ask you to hand back that money I lent you? She blinks away the tears. I gave you that in good faith. I thought you had fallen on hard times. You know, if that were true, I would have given the world to you. You never had to lie about it to get me to help you. She turns away, betrayed. Mom, Dad, I never. This is all a big mistake. Andrew looks around helpless. Eugene? You're here too? We're all here. Jenny called us. Like she said, it's an intervention. You look sad. I can't believe you'd ask me for money when you clearly had a pile of it on your own. He shakes his head. Guess loyalty means nothing to you, huh? And what about that loan? You never paid it back when I asked you. I didn't have the money at the time. Not what I heard, bud. Last time I ever give you grace for something like that. For real, Andrew. Another friend says. Jenny told us what you did to her. That's really messed up. I mean, the money thing is bad enough as it is, but this? That's low. What? What did I do? This is like a living nightmare. This can't be real. Cheating on her while she's pregnant? I'm telling you, I didn't do that. Likely story. People have been harassing her in public over this. I thought better of you. Around him, other voices chime in. Old college friends, co-workers, mutual friends of his and Jenny's. Andrew sits, trapped and utterly paralyzed. Karma's gonna come for you. Watch your back. You're heartless, Andrew. Jenny deserves that house more than you ever did. You still owe me, dude. Pay up. From the sidelines, Jenny watches this unfold. When she speaks, it stirs the room into a frenzy. Everyone, please, don't be like this. I know Andrew never intended things to be this way. Thank you, Jenny. See, someone understands the nuance here. Andrew yells. The room goes silent in shock. The voices start up again. Everyone yelling over each other in an attempt to both confront Jenny and further spurn Andrew. Look, don't let others take advantage of your kindness, Jenny. My heart is literally breaking for you, girl. You're so strong for doing this. You can't give up now. Stop supporting him. He's gaslighting you. Do better, Andrew. Andrew turns to his father. Dad, don't look at me. Look at your mother. Miss Mason sniffles, wiping her eyes. Don't worry about me. Apologize to Jenny, now. Andrew scans the room, desperately trying to find something, anything, that could get him out of this mess. His eyes fall on the trash can. Are those? He gasps. My old receipts. If they say what I think they do, maybe I can get out of here alive. You gonna say some douchebag? Jenny's brother leans over the crowd, fists raised. He shoves his way to the front and launches himself at Andrew, hitting him square in the chest. Andrew takes the blow hard. As his opponent winds up for a second punch, he reaches out his hand and grabs the incoming fist. You really want to fight right now? The young man is taken aback. He looks at his blocked fist, making a decision, stepping back. He lets Andrew have the floor. Sarah Cooper is furious. You dare to threaten my son when you're so horribly in the wrong? Oh, I'm in the wrong here. Yes! The room shouts. Then tell me. Give me evidence. Don't just stand around and tell me things you've learned from hearsay. I want facts. Andrew stands up, his expression defiant. His father pulls him back down. You sit down, now. How long are you going to embarrass us like this? Dad, don't worry. This is going to be okay. He stands, looking directly at Jenny and Quinn. After your brilliant acting this morning, I had no idea you'd move on to the next scene in this movie of yours. Maybe the lessons I taught you weren't enough. Sarah chides him. You cheated on my daughter. You abused her. That alone is enough to send you to jail. You have no right to speak to her that way. She wraps her arms around Jenny protectively. Jenny, in contrast, looks guilty. Quinn puts a hand on her shoulder, her face stern. Something is definitely not right. Andrew makes a mental note. Sobbing comes from Andrew's right. Mom. He yells back at Sarah. You bitch. This should have been a private conversation. Now everyone else is involved, including my poor parents. What about them? Haven't they been through enough? Why don't you do us all a favor and just shut up? Sarah staggers back, appalled. How dare you talk to me that way? That is incredibly rude. You, of all people, should know when you have no leg to stand on. Yeah, Andrew. Quinn gloats. She motions to the group, whispering. Guys, tell him. They shout, once again overlapping as they each give Andrew a piece of their mind. Andrew smiles sarcastically, having gone from distraught to unaffected. Do what you want. I have nothing left to lose. He looks at the group in front of him. If I really had an affair like you said, then where is the evidence? I have all the proof you need right here. Quinn throws down the stack of photos at Andrew's feet. She pulls up her phone, playing the altered security footage. As they all watch, Jenny felt her stomach turn with unease. Andrew looks indifferent. There's no way that he's got something else up his sleeve. This is totally damning. The video ends, and Andrew stares at the photos for a long moment. The silence in the room is deafening. Well, Sarah speaks up. Anything to say for yourself? Andrew continued to scrutinize the photos. I've seen these before, but they don't need to know that. I can use this to my advantage. Besides, whatever happens to me, I know that Carolyn's got my back. Darling, his mother says, if you have anything to say to them now, would be the chance. I can't sit by and watch you ruin yourself like this, and our reputation. Andy, we've worked so hard to give you a good life. This can't be how it goes. She puts a comforting hand on her husband's arm. We only want the best for you. Please, son, say something. To everyone's shock, Andrew laughs. That's all you got? Disdain colors his entire face. Quinn straightens her back. This is enough. It's perfectly clear. You all have eyes, don't you? There were some pretty suspicious jump cuts. He smirks. You're accusing me of editing this? I know you edited that. I've seen those photos myself. A gasp from the room. Jenny looks like she might be sick. And besides, Andrew pulls a wad of paper from his pocket. I also have this. Everyone peers to see the papers. Chat records? Quint yells, that's nothing. Not just any chat records. That and receipts for tuition payments. Andrew holds up another sheet of paper. Jenny goes white as a ghost. This is a record of bank transfers for tuition fees. Andrew's voice rings out across the silent room. Everyone's eyes are wide in shock. Your mom never wanted you to go to school, Jenny. I remember consoling you about it for hours. We decided I would help pay tuition, remember? I worked overtime for months. I took out a loan. I helped you make it happen. I'm sad you forgot so soon. He points reading. $1,500 to Jenny Cooper. Another $3,000 to Jenny Cooper. $240 to Jenny Cooper. Shall I continue? I don't even know where to start, Sarah yells. I don't know where you get off thinking that you're allowed to go behind my back like that. Not only do you cheat, you use an instance of deliberately going against me as some kind of redemption? Andrew ignores her. The chat records show here that I, again, worked overtime to buy you a holiday present. This one is petty, but you'll have to forgive me under the sudden circumstances. You never bought me anything, did you, Jenny? She looks up at him, guilty. I did. Once. That bag you threw in the trash when you dumped me doesn't count. Jenny is silent. Andrew keeps going, spurred on by the success. This, he says, getting into the dramatics of it all, is a house key. My house key. He brandishes it and inserts it into a lock. I bought it after working hard for 3 years, as well as borrowing money from my relatives. But my key can't open the locks. How come I can't get into my own house anymore? It seems I'd have a right to it, don't you think? Andrew's parents looked at Sarah, then at each other. Did they change the locks? Sarah's face turned ugly. A sinister smile spreads across her face. Silence. Then, Quinn steps forward. I have to say, Andrew, that really was a hell of a show. You have everything all thought out, don't you? You and Jenny were the ones who changed the locks. And you're good at distorting the truth, too. It may be true that you helped Jenny with her tuition, but this has nothing to do with your affair. You really had us there for a minute. She turns to the crowd. But let's not forget the real issue here. You cheated. She sneers. Right, guys? The crowd agrees, loud and raucous once more. Yeah, Andrew, don't change the subject. Those photos are real. That's all the proof we need. Quinn and Sarah stared Andrew down, daring him to say something. Jenny stands behind them, arms around her waist. Jenny, Andrew says, you don't really believe this, do you? That's enough, you scumbag. Quinn steps in front of Jenny, blocking her from Andrew's view. You have nothing left. Those screenshots were your last hope. You're done. No, says Andrew. I'm not done until I say so. Quinn's prideful look disappears at once. Andrew picks up his phone. It's my turn to show everyone a video. Everyone looks on as it plays. Surveillance footage, just like the last one, but this time, it's from a hotel. Jenny and James walk down a hallway and into a room. Once, twice, 7 times, Andrew says. And that was a month ago. Technically, when we were still together. Right, Jenny? Silence. On to the next, then. He clicks on a new video. Security footage from the bar. This is from last night. It should look familiar to some of you. Jenny puts a hand to her mouth. No. What is it? Quinn peers. It's just the Gold Cup. You hardly ever go there. The video plays, showing Jenny getting by James. Was that James? And you? Why were you at the Gold Cup bar? Celebrating. Jenny sniffs. She nods towards Andrew. We wanted to get back at him. And now, it's all over for us. She sobs, bursting into tears. You said I cheated, that I abused a pregnant woman. Well, what do you think about that? Andrew says, gloating. Quinn holds Jenny, wrapping an arm around her. She glares at Andrew. Yeah, I'm still not convinced you're innocent. So they went to a hotel together. That means nothing. And we have those pictures of you. Those speak more than any video ever could. And that bar video proves nothing. It tells us nothing about you. If anything, it looks like that's a breakup. How can you say that she's cheating on you when James hit her that night? Fine. I didn't want to do this, but you have pushed me too far. You want evidence, Jenny? This is what you call evidence. Andrew throws down his own stack of photos with a cold gaze. Quinn looks at Andrew as if her eyes could. On the couch, Andrew's parents sigh in relief. Their son is innocent. Andrew's father rises from his seat. I'd like to have a few choice words with the Coopers. He raises his fists. Outside, if you please. Honey, settle down, soothes his wife. It's going to be okay. Our son is a smart man. He'll handle this himself. Andrew, that's not. Jenny wipes her face in a panic. No, that's not. She takes a moment to collect herself. As she dries her tears, the friends she had carefully gathered around her son to disperse. Wait, where are you going? I, have to go feed the dog, one says. No, Quinn yells. Just hang on. Something in her voice is threatening enough that they stop in their tracks. We're not done yet. She brandishes a finger at the pictures. Those are edited. It's all fake. Fake? Andrew tilts his head. You mean like those videos of yours from earlier? He presses play. The voices coming from his phone are chaotic and choppy, but very clearly Jenny's. This is what really happened that morning. You edited the video for this meeting. The room falls quiet as everyone listens. Andrew continues. As for these photos, they are also remarkably well edited. The angle almost looks believable, but there's just a few places where things don't seem right. He points. Too many fingers. Knees backwards. Faces out of proportion. I mean, come on, Jenny. I know my ears aren't that big. He chuckles. The crowd bursts in a chatter, everyone talking over each other and heading towards the door. Everyone stay? Andrew holds up a hand. The noise stops. When did you get so powerful? Jenny whispers tearfully. Andrew shrugs. Don't know. I have a question for you, though. He steps closer to her within an arm's length away. Since you're saying if I don't you now, I'd be letting you down, right? Jenny goes pale. You wouldn't. He goes to then. Get your hands off of her. Jenny's brother, Flint, leaps through the crowd. He charges forward, tackling Andrew around the waist. He pulls his fist back, but Andrew rolls out of the way. Andrew catches him by the back of his shirt. Jenny is frozen in shock. What did you do to him? Sarah runs to her injured son, enraged. She looks up at Andrew. I won't let you get away with this. Andrew holds up his hands. I would never lay a hand on my elders. Did you just call me old? Sarah shrieks. Would you like me to? Andrew asks. Quinn Young points an accusing finger at him, an ugly look on her face. You ungrateful. Sorry, Miss Mason. No hard feelings. She whips back to look at Andrew. Even if Jenny did cheat on you, you have no right to treat her family this way. Who knows if Flint is going to be able to walk again? He'll be okay. I did a brief stint in medical school. I know what a serious back injury looks like. Andrew walks away from the group, talking as he does so. I just can't believe the two of you could both be so shameless. Why do you think that is, Quinn? Have I ever treated you or Jenny poorly? Think logically about this now. No, Quinn mumbles. What was that? I said no. Andrew tisks. Too late. You've said enough. He looks around, picking up a broom. This house looks like it's in need of some cleaning, don't you think? What? What on earth do you mean? Meaning that I think I need to take out. He stares Quinn down, twirling the broom. What? You're gonna hit me with that? I will if you don't get out? You wanna end up like Flynn here? Quinn goes pale. No way. Then get out. Take Jenny's family with you. None of you deserve to be here right now. Jenny glares at him, her previous despair forgotten. Don't you dare think of touching me with that broom, Andrew Mason. You have no right to chase me out of here. This is my house. My name is on the deed. Sarah regains her composure. Yes, this house is half Jenny's. Are you sure? Andrew's tone is mocking. This is the copy of the agreement you forced me to sign. Jenny reaches for it. No, thanks. I'll read it out to you. Block A 403 of Hill Street will belong to both Andrew Mason and Jenny Cooper, as per the date. Andrew pauses. You know, when we were supposed to get married. He continues. Ooh, here's a funny clause. On the occasion that Andrew Mason is to be proven unfaithful, the property in its entirety will be transferred and legally belong to Jenny Cooper. He folds the paper up. Interesting how it says that. This only restricts me from cheating. Jenny sneers. So? That doesn't prove anything. Exactly, Quinn says. You're done, Andrew. Stop trying to pull evidence out of thin air. Really, you both think this doesn't prove anything. Both the bank and the contract will prove that I paid for this house in full. This agreement can prove that I gave the house to you only because we were going to get married. This, he taps the paper, is a grant contract with an attached condition. It's simple, Jenny. We aren't getting married. We clearly both know that. He says, nodding to the photos of her and James. Now that the condition of marriage is no longer valid, I can simply cancel the contract. Simply put, this house has nothing to do with you anymore. Jenny's face contracts in anger. No longer is she the picture of an abandoned wife. She is nothing but rage. She storms out. Andrew, you're going to pay for this. You'll hurt the way I am one day. Just you wait. Andrew waves her out. I'll be waiting. Andrew? Sarah yells from outside. With all the power I hold as a member of high society, I swear to you, I will ruin your reputation. You won't be able to go anywhere without someone asking if you're the man who lost Jenny Cooper. Andrew slams the door, muffling her screams. The remaining crowd looks at Andrew, shock clear on their faces. What to do now? The show is over. The silence is overwhelming. After exchanging bewildered glances, they slowly begin to apologize to Andrew. Sorry, man. They really had us fooled. I don't know what else to say. I just can't believe they would go that far to hurt you. Crazy stuff. Andrew waves his hand in dismissal. It's fine. I'm kind of upset that all these people just came here to stir the pot, but any apology is better than nothing. We're still friends, even if it was only through my ex. I can't hold that against them. It's complicated all the way around, but let me just explain something. His friends stop, listening to him intently. It's true that I have $1 million in my account, but it's not my money. My boss placed that money into my account. I can't say why. It's employee-only business. He's a really secretive person. It'll only be there temporarily. I'm about to return it to my boss, so I really don't have $1 million in my bank. I'm sorry about the confusion. Everyone gives a collective, oh, of acknowledgement and understanding. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for enlightening us, man. After a round of pleasantries, everyone leaves. Andrew stands in the middle of the room and breathes a sigh of relief. God, if not for that one clause, I'd probably be right now. Figuratively, if not literally. Just then, his mother speaks up. Andrew, your father wants to apologize to you. Zane Mason, Andrew's father, is silent. In the end, he slowly sighs. I apologize for my behavior earlier. I'm sorry. You didn't seem like yourself, and, well, I guess I didn't really seem like myself either. Andrew is stunned. I'm not used to Dad being like this. You're telling me this now? What are you talking about? Dad, this isn't the first time you've let me down. If you really want to apologize, you should have done it years ago, back when you cut off my internet connection. You're kidding. That's not all like this. How on earth is that possibly the same? I did that for your own good. I needed the internet to study. Yeah. Okay. I call bullshit. Okay, fine. Maybe I was surfing the web a little. Surfing the web, is that what they call it? Dad, all I'm saying is that you owe me an apology. Andrew's mother pipes up from her seat on the couch. Boys, please. Can't you just have a nice chat as father and son? Absolutely not. Listen to what this kid is talking about. Zane throws up his hands. I come to my son, man to man, and apologize like any good person would. And he still treats everything like it's a big joke. I don't give me any of that nonsense. You're both wrong. Don't. She looks at them both in the intense, silencing them the way only a mother can. Don't say anything else. Sit down. She pats the couch. You sit here, and you sit next to him. Go, Zane, sit next to your son. She stands up. I will sit here. She drags over a chair, winded with the effort. Ooh. Zane Mason slaps his thigh. What's wrong with me cutting the internet connection back then? Seeing that his father would not be swayed from his stance, Andrew changes the subject. Are you too hungry? We should go out to eat. The stove here still has no gas. Okay, then. Let's go out. I could go for dinner right now. His mother reaches for her bag. As Andrew and the others leave the house, Sarah Cooper is yelling at her children in her home. It's all your fault. What kind of dumb idea was that, sneaking into his house? She pushes everything off the coffee table in a frenzy. Mom, it was my house too, Jenny yells. Flint glares at Quinn, who tagged along for, she claims, emotional support. He points at her. Blame her. I'll blame Jenny too, while you're at it. It's all their fault. They didn't get beaten up by that psycho. I'm still hurting from that hit. Oh, don't worry, dear. I'll help you apply medicine. That scumbag. Such a jerk. To think he would be so violent. I wonder what he was thinking, responding like that. And for me, what kind of ghost possessed me that I decided to let my daughter get involved with him? What an ungrateful man. She reaches for Flint. Here, sit up. I'll find you some painkillers until we can get this checked out. Don't touch me, it hurts, Flint says angrily. He shakes off his mother and hobbles into his room. Sarah is quick to follow behind him, but not before she glares at Jenny again. Jenny turns her head and complains to Quinn. It's all your fault. We failed early on, but you kept telling me to start more trouble at night. Did you really think Andrew would just have stood there and accepted defeat the second time around? Quinn is shocked. What are you talking about? Jenny glares at her. Weren't you the one who pushed me to do all this? You, Quinn laughs, but it's bitter and angry. Fine, you have a point. I won't argue with you anymore. I pity Andrew, honestly. Having an ex like Jenny, that would drive anyone insane. I mean, who at that house had suffered worse than me? I lost, any shred of dignity I had left. Quinn grits her teeth. You're right. We should have won that. I made sure that he would have no evidence to refute our claims, but he clearly had some outside help. He managed to take out footage from the surveillance cameras of the hotel and the Gold Cup bar. Jenny is stunned. He didn't take all that footage on his own? Of course not. Do you really think that he's that influential? You know as well as I do that the Gold Cup is where all the upper crust kids and the Nepo babies hang out. He wouldn't even know where the main door of that bar is, let alone be able to contact the owner for the footage from the surveillance cameras. I should have expected it. For him to have $1 million in his bank account means that there must have been someone behind him, Jenny exclaims, frustrated. I should have waited until I was more certain of things before making a move. That's what I don't understand. How could Andrew have found someone like that? Who would even want to protect him so badly? Jenny is lost in her thoughts, head in her hands. She mumbles. If Andrew's backer was stronger than James and the Lewis family, it would mean that I was humiliated for nothing. She looks up. Her eyes look a little crazed. Quinn, can't I call the police? You still want to mess with him, even knowing he has some mystery millionaire behind him? You have to be careful, Jenny. In this city, people with that kind of money and power usually come from certain families. What are you even talking about? Can't we just call? He beat us all up, most of us anyway. He should at least be detained for what he did, am I right? Jenny's eyes become filled with pride, and a smirk appears on her lips. Quinn mocked her. Jenny, don't be stupid. Let's say that your plan worked. What are you going to do if her backers retaliate against us? Would you be okay with that kind of risk, financially and socially? Jenny's expression freezes. Obviously, she wouldn't be able to withstand the anger of such an influential person, or people. Ugh. She sighs, dejected. I really can't touch him anymore. He's unstoppable. But which friend of Andrew is that influential and rich? I'm sure he would have told you about any friend of his like that when you two were still together. Okay, let me think. Jenny tries to recall the people Andrew could have interacted with. She gasps. A name flashes across Jenny's mind. No, it can't be. Her eyes widened. Who are you thinking of? Jenny's hands begin to shake. If this really is who I think it is, it won't be good for us. I'll have to go see for myself. She jumps up. What? Quinn exclaims. Jesus, she's utterly useless. If she keeps behaving like this, we might as well wait for a lightning bolt to come and kill Andrew. Quinn? Before she leaves, Jenny calls out to her in a daze. Quinn frowns. What's wrong? Jenny looks at her, forcing the words out. Is it possible that Andrew's support in this is Carolyn Richardson? Quinn's eyes dilated in shock. How is that possible? Why would Carolyn Richardson want to support him? Because he might be Carolyn Richardson's fiance. Why would you even think that? Jenny, she's the queen of the Richardson Corporation. Andrew and her, they aren't even in the same stratosphere. Listen to me. Janie pulls Quinn to sit down and shares her thoughts. Out of every client that Andrew has interacted with in the gym, the one with the highest status is Carolyn Richardson. While we were together, he told me that he was her first private trainer. If I remember correctly, he even told me that Carolyn Richardson had taken a liking to him. Jenny takes a deep breath. I only say that they're engaged because, well, when I dumped Andrew, a news article came about Carolyn that said she was engaged. That and Quinn talks over her. It can't be. Andrew was blacklisted from the industry. He had no money. How could he suddenly have an extra $1 million the next day? James and I stumbled upon Andrew yesterday afternoon. That night, Carolyn Richardson showed up at the bar and hit James. She pauses. That and... Keep going. Well, James has security clearance there. He helped me get those edited photos of Andrew. When we were there, and we saw Andrew, he was with Carolyn. She said they were engaged. Like she literally told me herself. Hearing Jenny's words, Quinn's heart turned cold. So, Andrew could have had clearance to get that footage last night because Carolyn was there. And she talked with you? Jenny sighs. Yeah. Quinn grabs Jenny's hand. Listen, if this is the truth, then we can get our revenge. Revenge how? If I'm right, we can forget about getting revenge for the rest of our lives. Hear me out. If we release the news, Andrew would be, totally decimated by all of Carolyn's suitors. There's loads of men who would kill for her. But is it enough to say that Carolyn announced her engagement after I dumped him? Just based on the fact that she admitted him before? Stop joking. Quinn fell into deep thought. That could be possible. but she dismissed the idea and looked at Jenny. No, we can't do that. Why? Jenny was puzzled. Even if you're correct with no concrete evidence, there's no real way that people would believe you. Well, just collect some evidence then. Oh, sure. Let's collect evidence about the hardest woman to track in the world. Sure, Jenny, maybe pigs will fly next. Jenny's face starts to crumble as she loses confidence in her theory. Quinn taps on her phone. I just asked my friend to check the source of the $1 million in his account. She looks up and sees Jenny's puzzled expression. What? I've got some big connections in tech. Don't worry about it. Anyway, he found out that Andrew received the money from an offshore private account. It has nothing to do with Carolyn at all. Besides, do you really think that she would bother to hide such a small detail? Especially since she's being so open about her engagement. Jenny thinks for a moment. Then, okay, fine, but how do you explain why Carolyn even hit James? Please, Jenny, you really don't know any of the old money people here, do you? No. She shrugs, embarrassed. Wow, okay. Let me teach you a lesson. The Lewis family is old money. That means they got it from the family before them. Years and years ago, they inherited it. The family before them is the... She trails off, looking at Jenny expectantly. The... Oh my God, the Yeager family. Quinn sneered. The reason is simple. The Yeagers? James should have told you about the relationship between the Yeagers and the Richardsons. Jenny slowly nods as a memory floats back to her. He mentioned it once. I know that the Yeagers have always been at odds with the Richardsons. James said it was politics, but based on Carol's reaction when we met, I'm thinking that it's something deeper than that. Oh, I also remember the news article from last year when they took over a property project worth millions from James's family. He was so upset. She frowns. But he did say his family makes a lot of money, so... Doesn't that explain it then? Not really. Quinn rolls her eyes. I am surrounded by idiots. I can't communicate with someone this brainless. She squeezes the words out of her mouth, speaking slowly and clearly. Can you use your brain? Carolyn may have hit James, but who was she really hurting? Are you saying that? Janie gasped. Carolyn was hurting the Yeagers by hurting James? Quinn gasped sarcastically. That's right. But why? Could be politics, like James said. Could be something else, like you thought. I think it has to do with someone else. Someone really worthy of being Carolyn Richardson's fiancé. Who is it? The city's so-called god of war. Trent Wilson. Trent Wilson? Wow, Jenny, you really need to get out more. I'm starting to think so, yeah. Jenny laughs, a little embarrassed. Have you even dated anyone else besides Andrew? Other than in high school? No, not really. Nothing that lasted. Wow, okay. Crash course on life outside of your weird family bubble. Quinn starts. She leans forward and folds her hands under her chin, like she's gearing up to tell a really good story. So, the Yeagers and the Lewises are like enemies and all that, yes? Ginny nods. So, Trent is like the third point in this whole old money family triangle. They're part of the Big Six. That's what people call them. Those are the top families: the Wilsons, the Yeagers, the Lewises, the Richardsons, and two more. Trent is the oldest child, so he's like the heir to the whole business empire for his family, like how James is for his family. She looks at Jenny. Get all that? Mm hmm. Go on. Here's the thing, and this is biased, but I think that Trent Wilson is just the greatest. He's got money, he's got status, he's hot. No wonder so many people think of him as this Prince Charming. It hasn't been announced yet, but it's gotta be him. This is Carolyn Richardson we're talking about. She'd never marry someone below her class. Besides, rumor has it, he's got a thing for her. Quinn giggles. But what does that have to do with the Jaegers? Ginny frowns. Plus, Andrew did say that they were engaged. Carolyn even said it herself. Quinn scoffs. Only everything. Trent is coming back from his trip abroad soon. If he gets here early, he'll be back in 3 months. If he's late, then more like 6. Regardless, it's important to keep an eye on these things. The tabloids are already buzzing, and all of the most powerful women in the city are totally going to try and score a date. You'll see. So? So, Carolyn made a scene with James in order to provoke the Jaegers. That's like the whole point of her doing anything. Quinn gives Jenny a look. I told you that, remember? It's just how these upper class family things work. And since the Richardsons are such big rivals with the Jaegers, she could make them look bad on purpose. Jenny nods. Yes. And then Trent swoops in to save her. Quinn finishes. Exactly. Okay, so that makes sense, but why couldn't I say anything about her and Andrew? Quinn shakes her head, a look of condescension in her eyes. If I didn't stop you, then you would have probably been on the news tonight, and not in a good way. With something like that, you really only have your word against anyone else's, which is to say, you have no evidence at all. A claim like that, with the public nowadays. She makes a swiping motion across her throat. Jenny shudders. Ugh, creepy. Okay, I get it. I could die, but what does this have to do with Trent exactly? Like, if that kind of news gets out, there's going to be legions of people wanting to suck up to Trent. If they want to look good to him, then they'll come after you. And you know as well as I do that there's some shady shit going on in this city. No, that makes sense. And if someone spread rumors that you were engaged to someone like Andrew, you'd be pissed too, right? I would. Yeah. It's especially tricky with Carolyn Richardson involved. Quinn gives Ginny a look. You know her family's weird. I do. A chill runs down Ginny's spine. They're big in the mob. She thinks back to how Carolyn treated James that night in the Gold Cup. She was really pissed. It looked like she would have made good on those threats too, if there had been fewer people watching. Right, the mob and other stuff. But you know I'm right. Even if what you said is true, even if Andrew and Carolyn do have something going on, do you really think that the head of such a huge corporation with that big of a reputation would let news of her? What is he? Fiance. At least, that's what she told me. Yeah, I don't believe it. I'll bet you she just wanted to get James off her back. Maybe. Ooh. Quinn gasps. excited by the potential gossip. Makes sense where he'd get all that money from so fast. Quinn, that's ridiculous. Andrew would never. You don't know how low he's willing to stoop. And even rich businesswomen have needs. You're just being gross now. I don't even want to think about Carolyn Richardson or her needs. Moving on. What if whatever it is that people say about Carolyn somehow gets back to Trent? What then? Quinn hisses. Yeesh. Yeah. When that happens, you might be forced out of New York. The entire thing. You'll probably never be able to come back here again. Jenny goes pale. Okay, looking at your face, I'm not going to say anything else about this. Plus, that's all of my plans anyway. A long silence falls over the pair. I mean, my ideas aren't bad, Quinn says, starting up the conversation again. But letting your imagination run wild is dangerous. I mean, what are we thinking? That Carolyn is supporting a dunce like Andrew and thinking that he would ever be her fiancé? She goes a little overboard in her attempt to convince Ginny things will be fine. Engaged to Carolyn Richardson. That's simply gotta be a joke. Don't even think about it, Jane. And I won't either. So true. Janie agrees. The whole idea is too ridiculous to be real. Andrew is nothing like Trent Wilson. If he and Carolyn are in separate stratospheres, then I can't even fathom how low the two of them are. She laughs. If Andrew beats out Trent, then pigs will definitely fly after that. So, who else could be supporting him if not Carolyn? Quinn says. Jenny props her chin on her hand. The clock on the wall ticks by. 5 minutes, then 10. After 30 minutes of sitting and trying out names, they had still come up with nothing. I'm done. I give up. Quinn throws out the sheet of paper she had been writing on. The floor around them is littered with crumpled papers, and sticky notes cover the table. We've gotten nowhere. It seems like they would have to give up on taking revenge for now, but giving up doesn't mean they had forgiven Andrew. Both Quinn and Jenny feel extremely enraged. Quinn, you can't do that. We're already in a really tough spot because of him. We can't give up now. Not after we invested so much time and effort. If we give up now, we'll never be able to get him back for what he did to me. Where's that enthusiasm you had earlier? That was 3 hours ago. I'm going home and getting some sleep. Quinn Young stands up. Since we can't come up with any other ideas, it's looking like about time for me to leave. She yawns. Plus, I've got work in the morning. You know I have to deal with all of the going down at my job. The one your mom helped me get? Yeah, the bank teller gig. What's wrong with it? Oh, nothing much. Just that Andrew got a VIP card and there was a whole blowout fight between him and your mom. Now I have to play nice with the higher-ups if I want to keep my job. If you kept the house, I'd have been able to keep some money, but now, I don't think I'll have anything. We'll figure something out. Don't worry, Quinn. You just get some rest. Here, I'll walk you downstairs. Jenny says, taking her arm. All of a sudden, where do you think you're going? Huh? The two girls whip around. You're just going to leave with her? Flint walks out of his room, sneering. Oh, good, you're cured, says Quinn. Feeling better? Not much, Flint says. But I can stand up again, so that's an improvement. But I'm not here to talk medical shit. I'm here to talk to my sister. What do you mean? Jenny is stunned. What do you mean? Flint marks her. Playing dumb, are you? I don't think it would be much of a play, dear. You know, she's not very bright. Mom? Sarah glowers at her daughter, looking at her darkly. Oh, your mom is creepy at night. All those shadows? Yikes, Quinn whispers, leaning over to Jenny. Tell me about it. I live with her, Jenny says. To her mother, she says, I'm confused. What exactly is going on here? What's going on, you said? Okay, I'll tell you what's going on. Where did the $10,000 on your debit card go? Flint grits his teeth. Did you pocket the money for your brother's tuition? Sarah steps forward, anger blazing in her eyes. What? I didn't. Jenny's expression drastically changes as she frantically denies the allegation. Where did the money go then? Flint roars. You got to go to college. I want the chance to. Without that money, I'm not going to have anything to pay for it. Jenny hesitates. If I tell them the truth, they'll never let me forget about it. I'd be the laughing stock of our entire family. They'd never trust me again. But I also got so hurt tonight. I can't let them know I was humiliated like that. They'd be more upset if they knew I spent money to try and get back at Andrew. She opens her mouth to speak, but Quinn beats her to it. I can't take it anymore, Quinn yells. Jenny, not only are you so incredibly dumb, but you're also too loyal to your family. They're too controlling of you, and they take advantage of you. Why are you being scolded for spending your own money? You're an adult, for God's sake. What kind of logic is that? You guys are absolutely ridiculous.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.